So it's like,
yeah.
All right, don't say anything bad.
Check, check.
You're loud as shit.
Wow.
Don't need that again.
Check.
Hello.
Check. Yo. Welcome back to the Out of the Box Show. I'm John Wallace alongside just one co-host this week, James Luffy. I feel like we're back in the first week of recording. Me and Luffy are here. Rory is on vacation, a well-deserved vacation. You know, we had Out of the Box. We realized that it's summertime and we all need a little break from the action. And Rory is surfing it up at the beach. Me and Luffy are sitting here in our purple and gold shirts. We did not plan this. We did not call each other, but I kind of feel like we are like two brothers or two twins that, you know, your mom goes to drop you off at the dorm and she bought you like matching shirts that you could both wear to like go out and go to football games and stuff. So
I was fired up, John. I wore my purple shirt on purpose today. You know, I thought it was going to be a big day for the Tigers, and we got some good news today.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to touch on LSU football recruiting news. We're going to comment on LSU's hiring of Jay Johnson as the baseball coach to replace Paul Maneri. We are going to talk about the College World Series, kind of touch on the NC State deal and our thoughts on Mississippi State Vandy in the College World Series final. We're currently recording this during Game 2, so we'll kind of give some thoughts on that. We are also going to talk about a little LSU basketball news.
Yep.
Huge news for the LSU basketball program. Lots to get to. We're going to keep it kind of short this week. And we recorded last week. We're sorry. We had some technical difficulties. My laptop got left. All kind of craziness happened. But we might even cut up a few of the clips that we recorded from last week. Maybe show how wrong we were about who we thought was going to be the next LSU baseball coach. And I think my statement on the Catholic High football, you know, the status of the football program was at the end of that too. So tons to get to. We're going to kind of keep it short this week, but let's get rolling. But before we do all that, I want to give a huge shout out to the Boot Crew Media Network. You see that, Leffy? Point it. You got to point. Yeah, the camera's pointing the other way. The Boot Crew Media Network is constant entertainment. You know which one I've been seeing a lot on bootcrewmedia.com and on social media, Lovey?
What's that?
The Suck the Heads podcast. Those guys are absolutely hilarious. They kind of did a Boot Crew Media / Suck the Head podcast on the road. They took a mic out to Bourbon Street and just asked people random questions. And the craziness of people on Bourbon it's hilarious. And some of the answers to the most obvious questions, like some people just can't even answer them normally. So they're constantly putting out content. That is just one of the examples of the great podcast and content producers on the Boot Crew Media Network. Make sure to check Boot Crew Media out on social media at Boot Crew Media and on bootcrewmedia.com. And want to give a huge shout out to Rally Cap Brewing. They are, like we've been saying, every single week of the summer, putting out constant fire. The DDH First Pitch, their flagship beer, double dry hopped, is the best style of IPA you can get. It is fantastic. You can get it. I think it's out in the markets now. It's out at your local supermarket, Calandro's, any other beer market in town, specialty beer. It is fantastic. Make sure to check them out at Rally Cap Brewing. All right. Jay Johnson is the coach of LSU baseball. He had his press conference yesterday at 4:30. I think me and you both listened to it while we were sitting at work. Luffy, first impression of the new kid on the block after Coach Maneri retired after 15 seasons.
Well, he was phenomenal in his press conference. He's very well spoken, and he seemed to know exactly what he wanted to say. And I was surprised at how well he knew LSU's history, and I think everybody was. And it was really cool. You know, he had purchased Coach Berman's book way back in the day, because that's the job he wanted. And to come full circle like that is it's pretty awesome. And I was very impressed with him. I mean, he definitely won the press conference if you can win a press conference.
Yeah, and I'd say that some of the things that people have said about him are he's not that charismatic coach, right? He said the things, but you could feel his intensity, right? He said the right things. Everything seemed pretty calculated, but he's not this big, loud, like he's not like a Mike Leach or like Coach Maneri kind of had his quips and his things he would say. And, a guy, he's not like Coach O, right? He's not like all in your face, but you can just feel the intensity that he's going to bring to the table every single day. He's 44. He's young. Another thing I want to kind of touch on is that a lot of LSU fans have, everyone wanted LSU baseball to go out and get the Tim Corbins of the world, the Kevin O'Sullivans of the world. And my answer to that, and some people would say that during Coach Jay Johnson's tenure at Arizona, he kind of struggled in his middle years as the coach there, given his record. His record is not just this stellar record, right? But my answer to that is that he's a young coach. He has developed power hitting lineups. I can't imagine an LSU baseball team all hitting over 300. I mean, that just doesn't happen. And being a coach at LSU, Coach O proved this in 2019. It's all about surrounding yourself with the right tools to succeed, right? The right assistant coaches. We've seen today and throughout the past few days, as he's working on building his staff, that you have to, and the job is a tough job to take, because a lot of these coaches are head coaches elsewhere and they're turning it down because they don't want to come to the SEC. So he definitely has a tall order for himself. But I feel like just judging by his press conference, you can tell he's going to be intense. He's going to get in the cage. He's going to build these players, the Jordan Thompsons, your guys that need that extra step to be great players at LSU. I think he has the right tools for it, and I'm very excited to see what he does with it.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised by how familiar he was with LSU. But also, I mean, when people ask the questions, why do you want to take this job, all the pressure, et cetera, he really seemed like a guy that is accepting of the challenge and wanted a challenge. It almost seemed like he wanted a new challenge, and he felt LSU was going to be a harder challenge with bigger and more opportunity. I mean, we saw it today. We may have gotten an Arizona transfer we're hoping for.
We've already got one too.
Yeah, and we've already got one, and we're hoping for another who we'll talk about in a second. But that is good knowing, I mean, his players obviously like him. Like if these guys are jumping ship to come all like halfway around the country to LSU, it means something. And he was very impressive in his press conference, and I'm excited to hire some coaches. I know we got apparently turned down by the Texas Tech recruiting coordinator.
We don't need him anyway.
Which seems a little weird. I know a lot of people have gone after him that we couldn't hire away because we would probably double, if not triple, that salary. So we'll see. We'll see who we hire as assistant coaches, but it's there's a lot of work to be done, but we're only a few pieces away. If we get the Jordan Berry kid from Arizona who played first or third for them, he's a switch hitter. He had 350 and 17 home runs. I mean, if we have him, Barry, Dugas, Cruz, Morgan, and Doty, that's 100 home runs. There. That's 100 home runs. So I mean, that is a lot of power, and that's a lot of good hitting. And we talked about it a couple weeks ago. We needed a solid 2-hole hitter, and he might be that guy.
Yeah, and just to kind of go back to his record and whatnot, I think this job, LSU, and we kind of said it last week, Scott Woodward went into this hire wanting to find his coach for the next 15 years, right? Say we were to hire an older coach, who's to say their coaching style wouldn't be outdated in a few years, they wouldn't retire. This is the perfect step. This is the pinnacle, the mecca, and he's proven that he can take teams to Omaha. He was the runner-up in 2015, and at the College World Series, and he made it another time.
Yeah, and he beat an SEC team in the Super Regional this year to get to Omaha. So, they asked him about like the step up in competition, and he was like, "We just beat Ole Miss." So, he knows how to win, and he did struggle for a couple years, and that is a concern. But if you can consistently recruit at a high level, which he should be able to at LSU, then we shouldn't see that drop off.
It's going to be very exciting watching him marry his West Coast, I guess, mindset and style of coaching to what is already at LSU, what is already a strong recruiting base.
Yeah, and we need a couple pitchers, maybe a couple JUCO pitchers, and maybe a few transfers to be, I think, back at that elite level right away next year. But we're not far off at all.
Well, we talk a lot about the best, and LSU would be considered the best baseball coaching job in the country, right? And another kind of a similar thing would be the best person to go to if you had a real estate problem. And you know who that would be?
Blaine Loop.
Blaine Loop with Keller Williams Realty. Blaine Loop is the best at what he does. He wants to help you find the home of your dreams. He wants to help you sell the home of your dreams to buy the new home of your dreams. And he wants to help you rent. He can do it all. And he's always available to answer any question that you might have in real estate. He wants you to know that interest rates are at an all-time low and the real estate market has never been hotter. At the speeds these homes are selling right now, you're going to need a certified professional. That's Blaine. Call or text Blaine anytime at 504-858-0031 for all your housing needs. That's 504-858-0031. And he wants you to know that Keller Williams is an equal opportunity housing partner. Each office is independently owned and operated. I just read that. Well, I didn't read it, but I just said that without reading it. How about that?
That was beautiful.
I kind of stumbled a little bit towards the end, but that Blaine Loop is the best at what he does, and LSU baseball is the best coaching job you're going to find in the country. All right, let's talk a little bit about the College World Series. Right now, the lighter pitch last night, Vandy is up 1-0, and we're in a rain delay in Game 2 against Mississippi State. Is McLeod's pitching tonight, correct?
He pitched last night. He started that game, right?
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
He got through about
he got
2 outs.
Yeah, he got lit up. That's why I was confused because I was watching the game and I didn't.
Yeah, if you missed,
you're used to watching him. You're used to watching him go deep into games.
Yeah, and it didn't air last week, but I picked State to win. And we can talk about this, but NC State was playing Vanderbilt, had to play them with 13 players. They hung in there. Could have won the game, and then they would have had to beat NC State again and throw Leiter in that second game. But Leiter got full rest and to start the game last night against Mississippi State, so they really kind of got screwed. You've hearing it everywhere on the radio and all. You know what happened to NC State, by now. But a huge advantage to Vanderbilt not to have Leiter to go on that game 1 because they wouldn't have Leiter or Rocker, and he dealt last night. He's disgusting. He usually gives up 1 home run and then strikes out like 15 people.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and he's done that the last 2 games. He's lights out. He took the wind out of Mississippi State's sails early, even though he gave up that early home run. The place was rocking. I said last week that State would have a huge home field advantage in the CWS final because I thought they would make it there, and they did. Probably 20,000 to about 300 people. The State fans traveled extremely well, but you'll know by now, I guess, who won Game 2. But I think that if Rocker's going to pitch Game 3, then it'll probably come down to a Game 3. I don't know who Vandy will throw tonight.
Yeah, and it's tough for everybody in the situation, the NC State deal, because there will always be that doubt. What if they could have done it? What if? And my only thing without getting into the COVID and all that, to not have a plan for something like this at the biggest stage, like it's one thing if a weekend series gets canceled early on in the regular season, but at this stage in the game, to not even have a plan and just say, you know what, you got to go home. I get that you have the stadium rented out. I get that you have tickets, people traveling, Why not push it back a couple of days? I mean, there's all sorts of scenarios that could have maybe worked out, and maybe they've thought through them.
They were kind of changing the rules as they went along, and there's no real leader in this whole thing. There's no like one person to be held accountable. So, and I think when in any kind of organization, when that is the case, then when stuff goes bad, there's no one to really direct them, and it's a complete disaster. And I mean, it sucks for the NC State kids because they were on a roll, kind of feeling like a little team of destiny. You know, they beat Arkansas in the Super, and we're 2-0 and in the driver's seat to make it to the CWS final.
Yeah, very unfortunate for NC State, but that's crazy that college baseball season flew by that quickly. The College World Series was great up until that point, and I'd say Vandy's probably going to win at this point. But we'll kind of clean up college baseball, and I mean, who would we call if college baseball was a house and we tore it down and we had to throw it away for the year?
You know what the NCAA should call to throw out their compliance department? Workbox. You need to call Workbox. They provide access to dumpsters for the NCAA, storage containers, portable toilets, luxury restrooms for any kind of tailgate or outdoor party you're having. It's tailgate season coming up. We got 2 months. We're back having tailgates. If you need a dumpster, if you need a luxury restroom, if you're building a house, if you're redoing a house, call Martine at Workbox and get a storage container at 225-343-4886. You've got to call Workbox. They are the fastest and cleanest service in the state of Louisiana. Call Workbox LLC at 225-343-4886.
All right, let's talk a little LSU basketball. It's kind of weird even talking about basketball at this point. The NBA finals are on their way out. Big news for LSU program today. Darius Days announced that he will be returning to the Tigers program, and I cannot think of a better rock to, I guess, form this team that's already got a lot of guys coming, not a lot of guys coming back, but a solid foundation, right? He's the foundation guy. He's the glue. He's the guy that's going to go and get rebounds. He's the guy that's going to drill a clutch three when you need him. And, with the recruits coming in that we have, plus, the guys you got coming back, Sharif, why am I blanking on his name? Gaines. Yep. You got Gaines coming back.
And LeBlanc is transferring.
Yeah.
As well. So, and that's probably because Days is coming back, and they play a somewhat similar position. It's huge to have Days back. One, I'm pumped he's coming back. I think he needs another year. He improves his shooting a little bit more and, knocks his stock up a little bit. But team leader, glue guy, rebounder, plays hard. I'm super excited to have him back. And I'm also excited about Sharif O'Neal. I've seen some videos of him playing in the Drew League, which is like kind of like an off-season league, but NBA guys play in the Drew League. And he looked bigger and stronger. If he can stay healthy, he could be another huge piece for this basketball team that could be serious. I mean, I think there could be serious title contenders if everything comes together in the right way.
Yeah. Yep. And some other big LSU news today. Luffy, this one you were up early texting about it. Pretty upset, but LSU offensive lineman Dare Rosenthal is entering the transfer portal. And, I feel like if anything, with whoever's going to be the quarterback and whoever's going to be leading the offense, we have to have experienced and I guess strong starters on the offensive line, and you're just moving down the depth chart at this point. I think Coach O said this morning that Wire was probably going to step right into that role.
And he actually played a good bit last year. He's going to have to improve if he's going to be an elite left tackle, but it sucks that we have the worst compliance department in the entire country and the strictest rules in the entire country. I don't think that Dare was planning on transferring, but I'm assuming there was some sort of suspension looming, similar to a couple years ago with another one of our tackles where he would have to miss a couple games, and he probably wants to play. So it sucks. It's not the end of the world, I don't think. I think that Cam Wire can step up, but, it kind of you kind of get into a spot where if another guy goes down, then that's where trouble could, start to brew on the O-line. But new coach, and we're going to be all right. I mean, it just sucks. There's not really much else to say.
So, we retweet all the time these accounts that are talking about how dangerous LSU football is going to be this year. And anytime you get news like this, you're like, well, did they take that into account? There are going to be people after this that still tweet these things like this. And we're getting to crunch time. I mean, we're about to start the off the charts segment, about to start breaking down the depth chart from kicker to quarterback. And, we hope that there's no more departures before football season. I mean, we're 2 months out.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's one of my favorite segments we do, and it really gets me jacked up for the season. And I think that it gives everyone a really good perspective on how much talent we have on the team. And you see these accounts, some of them probably for clickbait purposes, saying LSU can win the national championship this year. Yeah, it's probably true, but everything has to come together perfectly. We have, a bunch of new coaches and a bunch of new players, and we don't know who the quarterback's going to be yet. But if everything comes together, yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
Are we doing House Always Wins? Or are we skipping it?
It's up to you, John.
I think we should suspend it. Well, I think we recorded last week. We didn't actually put the episode out because it just didn't come together. We fumbled it. Let's just flush it.
I think
suspend
Rory's
the House Always
lost
Win.
and me and John's won too, because we had the same pick.
No, I think mine lost. What was mine? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It's wing.
Both of ours won.
Cut that, producer. But the House Always Wins segment is sponsored by the House Bar in Tigerland. We just inked the new deal with them. We're going to be doing some live shows there. I know we've been saying that for a while. COVID got in the way. We are in talks. We will update y'all on our social media when that is going to be. Make sure to come out to the House Bar in Tigerland. The cleanest bar, the nicest bar in Tigerland at this point. So thank you guys so much for listening. We cannot thank y'all enough. Summer is in full swing. We are rolling. The Out the Box podcast is closing the book on college baseball for the year, but about to open the book on the 2021 LSU and just football season in general. So make sure to follow us. Make sure to follow us. We never say that anymore. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Out the Box Pod, the Boot Crew Media Network at Boot Crew Media, and on bootcrewmedia.com. All of our sponsors, the House Bar in Tigerland, Rally Cat Brewing, Workbox LLC, and Blaine Loop with Keller Williams Realty. And now I think would be a good time. First of all, I had two things kind of just to end the show. Rory is probably sitting on the beach right now in a wetsuit, drinking a pina colada. And the last thing would be just imagine that right now.
A full-on wetsuit?
He's in a wetsuit, like full on, and somebody's got to get it off.
He wears one to boogie board.
He's going to wear it to the bar tonight because he can't get it off.
Rory, be careful of the floor of Bama around all those Bama fans.
He's a body surfer too. I don't know. If anyone's on the beach or in Orange Beach this weekend, try to meet up with Rory, get his autograph, and get a picture. If you get a picture of him in a wetsuit, we will give you a free shirt, free hat, whatever. Also, I think we're gonna kind of as the outro, we're gonna cut up a few clips just so y'all could see how absolutely wrong we were. I don't even think we mentioned Coach Jay Johnson.
We did, because he was in that report. Remember, it was like he's down. It's down to 3 coaches, and I think.
But I don't even think we would have if he wouldn't have been in the Advocate report.
But I think we would have. He was on the list of people, but I sat there and said that I didn't think it was going to be 2 of those guys on that list.
Was he one of them?
No, because I think it was Godwin. I knew Godwin was out because he would have been hired. I mean, and the same thing with Vitello, which we talked about. They would have hired him. Like by that point, we would have known. So it was kind of a mystery to me at that point in the week.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, we have a new baseball coach, and we're both fans of him.
I'm very optimistic. I mean, it's hard not to be because how can you judge a guy before he's coached a game here? And he's had a successful career wherever he's been.
Yep, no doubt.
JJ, let's go.
I just thought there might be a few. I don't know. I might not even